It's a simple pleasure, a mother playing with her children in a park. But not long ago, Linda, not her real name, would have been afraid to bring her children to this public place. Her ex-husband, a violent drug addict, was out of control.
He laid a hand on me, he molested my older daughter, and he slashed my tires, and that's when I had to stop and put a foot down and go to the courthouse and get a restraining order to protect myself and my 3 kids.
What's the nature of your emergency?
You've probably heard of temporary restraining orders, or TROs. More than 500 are filed every month in San Diego County, and there's plenty of help available to lead you through the process. All too often, a temporary restraining order is the result of a domestic violence incident and a call to 911. There are certain steps that can usually be taken before a situation escalates to an emergency. Every family should have a safety plan should you need to escape an abusive situation.
Myself and my kids, we have a safety plan, and that's my kids and I, we have numbers of relatives and friends, and they know, and if we're in a bad situation, they know where to go and who to call.
You'll learn more about safety plans shortly, but first, what exactly is a TRO?
A temporary restraining order is an order from the court that keeps an individual, theoretically keeps an individual safe from the person who's causing them harm or coming after them.
Well, the restraining order 100% restrains the other person not coming near you. It's not an iron wall, of course, but we, as a woman, we always have to be aware of our surroundings.
At the Family Justice Center, located at 707 Broadway in downtown San Diego, a variety of services is available at no charge. It's easy to get to by San Diego trolley or public bus.
The Family Justice Center is the one-stop shop for domestic violence services. It's everything that the victim needs, that he or she needs when they're going through abuse. We have counseling, we have a restraining order clinic. There's attorneys here who are able to help somebody going through domestic violence to get a restraining order.
The best thing for a victim to do is to call the hotline, and that's 888-DV-LINKS, L-I-N-K-S, and they can get current information on who is offering domestic violence assistance in their area.
There is no charge for filing a domestic violence restraining order, and it can be done at the Family Courthouse downtown, the South Bay Courthouse in Chula Vista, the El Cajon Courthouse, or the Vista Courthouse. The process is about the same at all locations. You don't need an attorney or a police report to file a TRO. You can get online information about temporary restraining orders at courtinfo.ca.gov/self-help.
The steps to file a restraining order just includes paperwork, which we do have available in the office or you can get online. We do need the packet, which includes all the forms. Those would be processed over the counter, and then we take them upstairs to the judge to be reviewed.
There's people there that help you out, fill out all the forms. We don't have to do anything about just to explain about our situation, and they will fill out all the paperwork for you. So it's easy as 1, 2, 3.
At the courthouse, at each location, we do have a facilitator's office that is on site, and that is free legal service as far as filling out documents. Those are located in each of the courthouses in the main lobby, but here in Central, we have an actual domestic violence clinic.
The information that the victim should have in order to file a temporary restraining order is any evidence related to the case, such as a police report, any text messages, electronic mail, or any recent abuse that's related to the temporary restraining order.
When they sign their declaration, they're going to sign it under penalty of perjury. So if they put something that isn't true, there could be negative consequences. The courts could find them in contempt or guilty of perjury.
You don't need to have physical injuries to file a temporary restraining order.
The judge needs to see if a victim is claiming that there were physical injuries. Spell out what the injuries are, what occurred to cause those injuries, Was there a fight? Was it a one-sided fight? Was it a two-way fight? If the temporary restraining order is granted, the court will sign off on it. It goes back to the business office for processing, and it has to be served on the party that is being restrained so that they have a copy of the orders that the judge has made and what they are allowed or not allowed to do.
More than holding my hand, they were holding everything, my feelings, my heart, everything. They're very helpful on listening very carefully about the situation, what we went through.
There are 3 copies of the order, one that goes into a statewide computer database available to all law enforcement agencies.
When I receive the TRO, that's after it's been signed by the judge, I take the paperwork back downstairs to the business office where I'll meet with the victim as well, and we'll set up a hearing date that's most convenient for them and the judge's calendar.
After the hearing, the victim will get 2 copies. One copy will go to the victim or the petitioner, and the second copy goes to the respondent to be served on them. Once that second copy for the respondent is given to our office for service, ultimately, the petitioner leaves the courthouse with just 1 copy.
The petitioner then makes a trip to the civil clerk's office at the courthouse. Downtown, that office is located in the Madge Bradley building at 4th and Ash, about a 5-minute walk from the family courthouse.
Our civil clerk will take in that document and match it up and print out a field ticket and also a information instruction sheet which will go on along with the TRO.
There is a form available to waive the fee for serving the TRO. The deputies will refer to a special instruction sheet about the respondent, and the more information on it, the better.
What we like to get from there is a work address, a home address, phone numbers, cell phone numbers if they have that. We want to know if they're prone to carrying weapons. We also like to know if they have a history of violence against police officers. It'll also have any special scars or tattoos that they might have, something that will set them apart for identification purposes. For that matter, if they have dogs, that may be a problem at their residence or their place of work.
The restrained person must be served within 5 days of the court hearing. To find out if a person has been served, you can check the sheriff's website at sdsheriff.net or call 858-974-2110. You will need to appear in court for the scheduled hearing and may speak to the judge. You can also bring an advocate with you to court, but you don't need an attorney.
It's an opportunity for them to talk about the factors that put them in danger, such as the responding party's drug use, or the fact that they have weapons, or the fact that they've abused them in the past. Those type of things are really important for the judge to know.
The restrained party can tell their side of the story as well. If you do not show up, the TRO expires.
Our goal is to have each of the victims accompanied to the courthouse so they don't have to be alone, and we always refer them to our advocacy team, who's generally available to go with them.
If the party has been served but fails to appear, the court at that time can go forward based upon the allegations made in the complaint.
There are additional agencies where free help to obtain a restraining order may be available. Counselors also can help with a safety plan, which should be in place before obtaining a restraining order. This would include a safe place for the victim to go if they are forced to leave their home, important emergency phone numbers, and a suitcase packed with essentials should a quick escape be necessary. Usually, the temporary order is to keep the restrained party at least 100 yards away from the victim or petitioner and is good for 20 days. And then there's another hearing.
A temporary restraining order expires, so that's why it's important that they show up to the permanent restraining order hearing so the judge can make the order permanent.
Once granted, the permanent order can be in effect for up to 5 years, and even then, it can be extended. The restraining order is a useful tool, but it's no guarantee of absolute safety. You have to do your part. You have to report any violations. You should also keep a copy of the restraining order with you at all times. If the restrained party violates the order, call the police. Linda now has a permanent restraining order against her ex-husband.
I know my kids and I were safe by having this restraining order, which helps me protect my children and myself. We get to sleep better at night.
That's the whole idea behind the temporary restraining order, to provide safety and peace of mind.